Hey friends, welcome back to our study along of the World Order of Bahá'u'lláh. I am your study buddy, Jacqueline Claire, and linked below you will find a who, what, when, where, and why, plethora of links and videos, as well as the playlist for all of the weekly readings leading up to today. All right, my friends, let me just brighten this up a bit. That fancy new light. All right, so we are jumping into paragraph 12 of the section entitled The Administrative Order of the letter entitled The Dispensation of Bahá'u'lláh. An attempt, I feel, should at present juncture be made to explain the character and functions of the twin pillars that support this mighty administrative structure, the institutions of the guardianship and of the Universal House of Justice. To describe in their entirety the diverse elements that function in conjunction with these institutions is beyond the scope and purpose of this general exposition of the fundamental verities of the faith. To define with accuracy and minuteness the features and to analyze exhaustively the nature of the relationships which, on the one hand, bind together these two fundamental organs of the will of Abdu'l-Baha and connect, on the other, each of them to the author of the faith and the center of his covenant, is a task which future generations will no doubt adequately fulfill. Shoghi Effendi often kicks the ball to future generations, which is very encouraging. My present intention is to elaborate certain salient features of this scheme, which, however close we may stand to its colossal structure, are already so clearly defined that we find it inexcusable to either misconceive or ignore. It should be stated at the very outset, in clear and unambiguous language, that these twin institutions of the administrative order of Bahá'u'lláh should be regarded as divine in origin, essential in their functions, and complementary in their aim and purpose. Their fundamental objective is to ensure the continuity of that divinely appointed authority which flows from the source of our faith, to safeguard the unity of its followers, and to maintain the integrity and flexibility of its teachings. Acting in conjunction with each other, these two inseparable institutions administer its affairs, coordinate its activities, promote its interests, execute its laws, and defend its subsidiary institutions. Severally, okay, I don't know that word. Each operates within a clearly defined sphere of jurisdiction. All right, you guys, this is super interesting. Clearly defined jurisdiction of the guardianship and the Universal House of Justice. Each is equipped with its own attendant institutions, instruments designed for the effective discharge of its particular responsibilities and duties. Each exercises, within the limitations imposed upon it, its powers, its authority, its rights, and prerogatives. These are neither contradictory nor detract in the slightest degree from the position which each of these institutions occupies. Far from being incompatible or mutually destructive, they supplement each other's authority and functions, and are permanently and fundamentally united in their aims. Divorced from the institution of the guardianship, the world order of Bahá'u'lláh would be mutilated and permanently deprived of that hereditary principle which, as Abdu'l-Baha has written, has been invariably upheld by the law of God. In all the divine dispensations, he states in a tablet addressed to a follower of the faith in Persia, the eldest son hath been given extraordinary distinctions. Even the station of prophethood hath been his birthright. Without such an institution, the integrity of the faith would be imperiled, and the stability of the entire fabric would be gravely endangered. Its prestige would suffer. The means required to enable it to take a long and uninterrupted view over a series of generations would be completely lacking. And the necessary guidance to define the sphere of the legislative action of its elected representatives would be totally withdrawn. Severed from the no less essential institution of the Universal House of Justice, this same system of the will of Abdu'l-Baha would be paralyzed in its action and would be powerless to fill in those gaps which the author of the Kitab-i Aqdas has deliberately left in the body of his legislative and administrative ordinances. He is the interpreter of the Word of God. Abdu'l-Baha, referring to the functions of the guardian of the faith, asserts, using in his will the very term which he himself had chosen when refuting the argument of the covenant breakers, who had challenged his right to interpret the utterances of Bahá'u'lláh. After him, he adds, will succeed the firstborn of his lineal descendants. The mighty stronghold, he further explains, shall remain impregnable and safe through obedience to him who is the guardian of the cause of God. It is incumbent upon the members of the House of Justice, upon all the Agzan and Afnan, the hands of the cause of God, to show their obedient submissiveness and subordination unto the guardian of the cause of God. So interesting, you guys. Okay, so after him will succeed the firstborn of his lineal descendants, which could be male or female. This is a whole topic. Yeah. Very interesting, my friends. Of course, because Shoghi Effendi didn't leave any descendants, so now we have Shoghi Effendi as the guardianship as an institution in and of itself. It's just interesting that Shoghi Effendi himself quotes that. I mean, of course he would. You get what I'm saying. It's interesting that that's in here since we ended up not having that. But I guess that Shoghi Effendi could have predicted that is not necessarily something that we would expect. So he's just sharing what Abdu'l-Baha said about it. Very interesting, my friends. Okay, well, that concludes paragraph 16 of the administrative order section. Thank you so much for taking this deep dive with me. If you enjoy this series, please give this video a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Let your friends know about it. And if you would like to support this channel, you will find links below on ways you can do that. Until next time, my friends, as always, I wish you the best for playing your unique part in making this world a better place. I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.